From the beginning, okay. Good morning, Vivites. How are you doing? So I believe most of you are very eagerly waiting for this webinar because this is the fourth webinar happening by Viva, and I'm very thankful to Viva management for giving this amazing opportunity to address lots of people across India through this webinar. And this is definitely a technology wonder because being in Bangalore, I'm able to speak to multiple number of people across the state and across the country. So definitely this is an amazing opportunity for me to share a little bit of the knowledge what I have learned from the past few years of experience in this industry. So first of all, let me tell you, I completed my graduation from Bangalore, and after that I was looking forward to do something big in my life because I was always dreaming of big things in my life. I wanted to be an entrepreneur in my life. At that time, I met my mentor, Mr. Abhilash Thomas, and he told me one thing, that Prem, success is associated with successful people. And then I sat across with him for many sessions, and he explained to me a life-changing education which I never learned in my the management studies, what I did in my college or even my school days. I never learned this kind of an education, and at that time he explained this amazing thing to me. And today I'm going to present you the same thing what I learned from my mentor, because this was a big eye-opener for me to understand in which direction I was traveling in my life and where I would be 10 years from now and 20 years from now when I looked at this wonderful format. And this is basically not my idea. This is a wonderful idea given by Robert T. Kiyosaki, New York Times best-selling author. Robert T. Kiyosaki is a world-renowned economist, and he has authored a number of best-selling books, and a few books are sold in multiple languages across the world. And the book's name is The Rich Dad Poor Dad. The Rich Dad Poor Dad book series are so many that if you once go through these, it gives you amazing knowledge, insights into the financial world, which we are deprived of most of the times. Okay, so let me tell you, in most of his books, Robert T. Kiyosaki, he talks about an amazing concept called as the cash flow quadrant. What is the cash flow quadrant basically? This was an eye-opener for me, and definitely I believe today it is going to be an eye-opener for most of you watching this webinar out there. Okay, so let me explain to you with the help of a whiteboard and a marker. It's a very simple concept which anybody can understand. If you understand this concept, definitely I promise you, my dear friends, this is going to change the way you look at life, the way you work, the way you start thinking about the future. Everything is going to change. Your complete perception about the your future is going to definitely get altered after listening to this amazing concept. It's called as the cash flow quadrant. I call it the cash flow quadrant. Okay, what is this cash flow quadrant? Basically, Robert T. Kiyosaki says that there are 4 types of people in the world. The 4 types are basically categorized not based on their caste or religion or the different countries. It's basically categorized based on the way the people earn their living, how they make money, how the cash flows into their lives. So that's the reason it's termed as cash flow quadrant. So basically Robert T. Kiyosaki divides the people into 4 different categories. The first one, most of the people, if you look at the public, the masses, they are focused towards this category, the first quadrant. It's called as the E quadrant. Basically, you all know E represents employment. Once you go to the school, get a good degree, get good marks, and after that you start looking for a job, you join a company and start working there as an employee, and that's called as the E quadrant, the first quadrant. Let me tell you the second quadrant. The second quadrant is the S quadrant. E quadrant, you have a job, you go to a company, a corporation, you go to a different private limited company, and you start working there as an employee. S quadrant, they don't work anywhere, but they have they create their own job. So E has a job. S quadrant people, they create their own job. So they basically start setting up something in a smaller way. Let me give you a simple example. I'm a doctor, okay, and I work with a very big hospital as a surgeon there. So what happens is I belong to the employee quadrant. And if I have my own clinic, which I run with my own capabilities, individual capability, I belong to the S quadrant. So that's the second quadrant. That's the S quadrant, self-employed. That's what we call it as S quadrant. And let me tell you about the other quadrant. That's the third quadrant. The third quadrant is called as basically the B quadrant. B quadrant means the people who run the big business houses, the businessmen. B stands for businessmen. They provide the job opportunities for hundreds and thousands of employees. So the B quadrant, those who run the big business houses. And finally, we come to the fourth quadrant, which is one of the my favorite quadrant also. It's called as the I quadrant. So I stands for investors. So what basically the investors believe is that they don't work for money, they make the money work for them. So let me explain to you the complete thing as a summary. E stands for employee. I join in a company. I work as an employee there, 9 to 6. The basic thing. And then S quadrant. I have my own job. I set up my own small business kind of a self-employment. And B stands for businessman. I run a big business house. They provide opportunity for hundreds of people, and they run the business houses. They have the systems. And the I quadrant stands for investors. They basically put their money to work. They say, I don't work for money, my money works for me. So that's how the four categories, the four types of people are shown by Robert T. Kiyosaki in the cash flow quadrant. And now let me also tell you what happens with all these types of people, where you work, which category you belong. And I know most of the people, if you look at the masses, the 98% of the people, even in the US, they belong to the left side of the quadrant, because Robert T. Kiyosaki, further taking forward this cash flow quadrant, what he says is that there are four categories of people, but then looking at the style of their work, the mechanism on which they depend, to generate their income, he has again divided the four categories into two basic categories. So that's the left side of the quadrant, and this is the right side of the quadrant. Okay, so what Robert T. Kiyosaki says, even though an employee or a self-employed, they have a different title, but they belong to the same category of earnings because they work in the same style. Let me explain to you. I work in a bank, so I go there and work for almost 26-27 days in a month, 9 to 6. So I am an individual and I depend on my individual effort. So the first point to be noted here is the individual effort. Let me write it down for you. The first one is individual effort. My earning is basically depending upon my effort, individual effort. So everybody is able to, everybody has got 24 hours in a day, but then definitely we know that out of 24 hours, we can't give the complete 24 hours to, whatever work we do or whatever, self-employment setup we have. We have a limitation to give our efforts, our time. So what happens basically is individual effort means a limited effort, because you have a limitation as an individual. So what happens is an individual starts working on his capabilities and he starts earning based on that. So what happens is due to the individual limited effort, the earning also is limited income, and basically they also call it as finite income. That's a limited income. Okay, that's the second feature or the characteristic of the people on the left side, the E and S quadrant. And the third most important point is, in a setup with an employment or a self-employment setup, you need to, the E quadrant and the S quadrant, you need to be active throughout your career or throughout your life. I would say that, because once you stop working in a job, you don't continue to earn. Your earning stops. And you're a self-employed, you run a hotel, you have a hotel business, so you close down your hotel, your income stops. So what happens with these people? They always need to be active, which is the most important part of this side, the people on the left side. So the active income, they have a limited income, and the third one is they depend on individual effort for their earnings. So basically, due to these three characteristics or the three features, the people on the left side, employees and self-employed, they end up growing to the first stage of life, that is the survival, and then comes the stability. So they are able to pass through these two stages of life. So they are able to survive and then also stabilize whatever they have. So that is what happens with the people on the left side. And let me talk to you about the B quadrant. the right side, people on the right side, the B quadrant and the I quadrant, even though they are different, they start thinking and working, their mechanisms are same, how the systems what they depend also is same. So the people on the left side, they have these three characteristics, and if you look at the people on the right side, they are exactly opposite to these three features. And that's what is the most important part of this learning. They, even though they have huge, talent, skills and everything, they never depend on an individual effort. Rather, they go further and establish a system, a team. So what happens, individual effort on the left side is replaced by the, the people on the right side as a team effort. So they depend basically on a team effort. So what happens when you have a system, when you have a team, you are able to deliver huge, you're able to deliver more, you're able to deliver, any level. There is no limitations to the, performance what you can do. As an individual, I have got 24 hours in a day. But as a team, I can never say that I've got 24 hours. If you work as a team, you will also be able to work for 240 hours or 2,400 hours or even 24,000 hours. So that's what is the key. So the people on the right side, they always depend on a team effort, and due to this, their earnings also is going to be huge. Their earning also is going to be massive. So because of the limited effort, the limited income, because of the time, the teamwork, the team effort, the earnings also becomes infinite or unlimited. I would say unlimited income, which is another very important aspect of the people on the right side. And let me tell you something called as freedom. Most of us want freedom, and if you want freedom in your life, definitely I would say, I'm not talking about the political freedom, I'm talking about the financial freedom. You're looking at having more time and having more money. Freedom comes to you when your earnings are not active. It has to be rather passive. So this is what, the three features, these are the features of the people on the right side of the quadrant. And this is, this was an eye-opener for me, because I always, went to the, college and school thinking, started thinking that one day I would go and become an employee. And most of the people start thinking in that way. Definitely, I had a dream of being an entrepreneur because I always wanted to do something big. But technically, I understood the subject that if I start working as an employee throughout my life, I would be ending up paying the bills and the rent and all those things, but definitely never make it big in my life. So definitely, when Mr. Abhilash Thomas, my sponsor, shared this wonderful information with me, it was definitely an eye-opener. Definitely, I believe most of you watching today also would feel the same. Now, what is in it for you today? Let me explain to you that. The most important point. We all belong to IndusViva. What is IndusViva? Basically, it is a network marketing company, or you can call it as a multi-level marketing company, and some people also address it as a community commerce. Whatever it is, well, all said and done, network marketing. Why network marketing? If you ask me why you should choose network marketing, or this particular information will accelerate your business further, your speed in the coming days, because when you choose a network marketing, what is the basic reason? What should be your thinking? What should be your idea, of being in a network marketing company? According to Robert T. Kiyosaki, the people on the left side, they can definitely move to the right side, which is a good news for all of you. Definitely people on the left side can move to the right side. That is, you can take a shift, a move from here, you can definitely come to this side. And definitely, if I ask most of you, you would say, yes, I would like, I would love to be on the right side, because nobody would say, I don't want, unlimited income. I don't want a passive income. And definitely, most of you know that teamwork creates wonders, right? So if you want to move from an individual to an institution, from a limited income to unlimited earnings, from an active income mode to a passive income mode, according to Robert T. Kiyosaki, around the world, there is only one opportunity, one industry which can help you to move from left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant, and that is called as network marketing my dear friends. So congratulations to all of you, because you people have already chosen, network marketing as a part of your business, maybe as a full-timer or as a part-timer. But definitely, let me tell you, your choice of choosing a network marketing business technically is wonderful, because this choice, this decision of yours is definitely going to help you to move gradually over the period of time, period of 2 years, 3 years down the line. You will be able to shift yourself from left side to right side. Why this can happen and how this can happen, let me give you the clarity on this particular thing. See, my dear friends, when you start a business, let's say you started Indus Viva as an individual. Initially, you're a part of a team. You belong to the team of your sponsor, because your sponsor has got many people in his organization, and you enter into the business as a part of another team. But the best part of a network marketing business, again, going forward, taking the words of Robert T. Kiyosaki says that the life-changing education for an individual. You please note the word, it's a very powerful word. The life-changing education for an individual is provided by a network marketing company. And that's one of the most powerful reasons why Robert T. Kiyosaki suggests, network marketing to the masses. So the life-changing education, which is not provided by any school or college or any university across the world, is provided by a network marketing company. How it is possible? Every network marketing company has, their own education system, or they run an education system of the leaders. But fortunately, in Indus Viva, let me tell you, my dear friends, Indus Viva has got a wonderful education system, which is called as the Vibrant Viva. Through Vibrant Viva, an individual who comes into the business as an individual, as a part of another team, gradually develops his personality, because there are lots of trainings which you will be exposed to, and with those trainings you would be able to develop yourself from an individual to a leader. So what happens gradually, from an individual you will end up down the line, 6 months down the line, 8 months, 1 year down the line, from an individual you will be able to shift yourself to a team, and that's when the wonders happen. You would have heard lots of amazing testimonials of people started the business as a simple and from a simple background. Over a period of 2 years and 3 years, you would see the person is driving an Audi or a Mercedes or a BMW and having an amazing lifestyle, traveling across the world with the family. All these can happen because of this. The person from an individual transforms himself into a team, into a huge organization, and that is possible in a network marketing, because when you come in, you are an individual, and they train you and they help you, and they also work with you and ensure that if your commitment is amazing, definitely, let me tell you, your sponsor is going to love to work with you. But if you're not committed, definitely that's not going to happen. Again, commitment is another subject. We will discuss about that in another webinar, but let me stick on to my subject today. So if you are in a network marketing, especially talking about Indus Viva, in Indus Viva, with Vibrant Viva support, the right education system would be given to you at different levels. When you start raising your pin level and your earnings, you would be exposed to amazing education system which will help you to nurture you to groom yourself into a leader. So what happens, from an individual you will transform yourself to a team. So what happens, a limited earning person today, probably when you start the business, this is what happens. When you come into Indus Viva, you're no more an employee with Indus Viva or with any company, because when you associate with Indus Viva, you are called as an independent distributor. So what happens, you start from here, okay, as a self-employed, because everything depends on you in the beginning. You are alone, and of course the support of your team, applying team, is there, but then you are alone and you are the first person of your organization. So you are a self-employed. So over a period of time, when you start developing your skills and your knowledge and your the confidence level, definitely you start working from S quadrant. And gradually over a period of 1 year or 2 years, let me tell you, in Indus Viva, when you are a diamond, I can tell you, when you reach the level of a diamond, definitely you will be able to move from the S quadrant to a B quadrant. Okay, so and gradually when you start earning huge, as a diamond, your income would be definitely more than 5 lakhs plus a month, and 50,000 rupees royalty for your better half, okay, or your co-applicant. So what happens is, after diamond, when you continue to develop the business to a bigger level, you would also finally land up in the I quadrant. And that's what is all about, why you have to, do a network marketing business, why you need to seriously start thinking about your career of how you're going to be in this business for the coming 1 year and 2 years and 3 years. And let me tell you, in between, whatever questions you have out there, we have created a wonderful option for you. Go to the Facebook page of Indus Viva. There will be a post called as FAQs, which will be uploaded exactly at 10:29. So go into that post, go to the comment box, and whatever questions and queries you have with regard to this, or whatever is related to Indus Viva business, your Indus Viva business. If you have any kind of queries, you can shoot the questions to me today, and from 10:30 to 11, I'm going to answer all your questions. Probably, we'll not be able to answer all the questions, but whatever possible within the next 30 minutes, from 10:30 to 11 o'clock, within the limited 30 minutes time, I would love to answer your queries with regard to the cash flow quadrant, with regard to Indus Viva, any queries you have. So please go ahead at 10:29 to the Facebook page, and at that time we will interact, start addressing your questions, and let me give you some answers, and let's share some knowledge also. So this is the basic cash flow quadrant what Robert T. Kiyosaki has given, and with this knowledge, definitely I would say, even I tried this, when you want to go and approach a person, okay, let's say he's working in a company, he's already well positioned in that company, or he's already looking for a change, whatever kind of person, when you go to somebody to prospect, and let me connect this point to you, when you go to prospect somebody, if you are able to sit across the person, this can become a very powerful tool for you to prospect. So sit across the person over a cup of coffee, okay, and with a white sheet, start explaining about this amazing cash flow quadrant to the person who is sitting with you, the person whom you want to prospect and whom you want to propose, this amazing business opportunity. Before you talk to him about Indus Viva opportunity, if you are able to sit with that person and talk to him about the cash flow quadrant, this knowledge, definitely the person is going to be ready to understand and receive a network marketing business opportunity. So that way the cash flow quadrant can definitely help you to prospect people in the right manner, because most of the time what happens when you bring somebody, we are talking to people and telling them, okay, you join me, you don't have to do anything, it is very easy. Okay, we try to sometimes do the wrong things. So it's always good to go with a proper explanation about what we are doing. So when you invite a guest, when you have a prospect of yours, you can definitely teach, you can share this knowledge with the prospect. And the best part is, if you have a team of say 10 people, let me tell you, if you transfer this knowledge to 10 people, 10 team members of yours, all the 10 of them, if they are able to understand this, two things can happen. The first thing is, definitely they can use this, to prospect people and talk to people why to come and look at the opportunity what we have. The other part is, they will understand that I am not in a in a small business or a small game. I am in the big game. I am doing something really big, because this will expand the vision of every individual who is involved in your business. Especially, I believe today, most of you watching this for the first time, I know definitely how it feels when you understand why you are doing Indus Viva, and when you have a strong reason, that this business can take you from the left side to the right side. Because the benefits of being in a network marketing business is that it can take you from the left side to the right side, and you can enjoy the lifestyle of the B and I quadrant people. That's really amazing, because that is something which was not available for a common man. But through network marketing business, everybody today who has got an aspiration, every ordinary man with an extraordinary thinking, can definitely take this opportunity, understand this knowledge, and move from left side to the right side of the quadrant. And further, I would recommend you go ahead and watch some more videos about the cash flow quadrant, if possible, when you get time. Or personally, I would also recommend you, there is a book called The Business School, which is again authored by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Go ahead and purchase that book. that book will definitely give you more knowledge, deeper knowledge about why you have to do network marketing business. My dear friends, let me tell you, there are two types of people who do the business basically. I always call them the professionals and the non-professionals. The professionals are the people who have a very deeper knowledge about their profession, and they do the business, execute the business in the right manner, in the most professional manner. And that's what separates the winners and the losers. So I believe this knowledge, most of the people who are involved in network marketing business, sometimes they don't have this knowledge. So they think it is a short-term get rich quick scheme, and they try to do some kind of time pass, or a kind of spending the time just without any value. So when you have this knowledge, definitely you can claim yourself that I am into a business which is going to build the future of my next generation, because it's not just the future of yours. If you ask me, I am building the future of my next generation, because that is what the conviction I've got with this knowledge, the cash flow quadrant. This has helped me definitely to transform lots of people's life, including my own life. So I suggest you strongly carry this knowledge wherever you go, because this gives the clarity to people why they have to associate with you. It is not a get rich quick scheme, it is a get rich sure business. It is Indus Viva. So thank you very much. And now go ahead, we've got the time for FAQs now. Visit the Indus Viva Facebook page. There will be a post which will be uploaded exactly at 10:29. In that FAQ post, go to the comments and start shooting your questions. I would love to see you there and start answering your questions in the webinar. Thank you very much. See you back. Take a break.